Hi guys, so I made this design like 5 years ago, and honestly there's a lot of design flaws with this current design, and what I want to do in this video is look at those design flaws and see how we could improve on it to get a better UI design. So guys, the first thing I want to do is to duplicate the design, so we have the before and the after. So what I can do is select this and hit Command D to duplicate, and what I can do here is to call this the new. We have the new and the before registration page. So looking at the new registration page, the first thing I want to do is to retire these images. Now, the reason for me to retire this is to have more clearer and functional registration form. This looks better. Then the next thing I want to do is to work on the status bar. If you look, the icons here are screwed up. So what I need to do is to do away with this and go to Asset and look for the iOS UI kit. You can get this from the Figma community. So I'll click on this and search for status bar. Here we have this. So I'll just do proper alignment, top align, centered align, and I think I can work with this. Now the next thing I want to do is to look at the grid that was used on this design. So I could see 6 column used. What I would do for mobile is 4. So let's quickly set this up. 4, and the margin left and right I will set is 20, and the gutter spacing I'll set is 16. I think that's what I will use. So I'm going to close this and turn off the grid. Now the next thing I want to do is I'll add a back icon, and the back icon is to help user to easily go back to the previous page, and this passes the role of giving user control and freedom to use your application or product. So here we have the icon. So the margin from this to the status, I'm going to make it 48. Cool, we have the icon. The next thing, I want to retire this text. Now I'll select a font that is more stylish, and I'll create a proper text hierarchy. And to do that, I'll just remove this. So here we have a new font. Now, if you look at what happened here, I've changed the font type to sharp grow text. Also, I have changed the copies of the text. Here I have create account. Now, the reason why I selected create account as the copy of the text is to give user that clarity of what to do when they land on this form. So it's a registration form, or probably a form where users can create an account. So you want to easily tell them that this is a create account form, so users can easily just know what to do immediately. Compared to what we have here, which says welcome on board, I don't think it really communicates what the user is supposed to do here. And you also see the follow-up text that says, let's help you meet your tasks, which is not what is necessary on this form. So if you look at what we have here, we say, kindly complete the details below to create your account. Now, if you look at the size, we created a better type scale. The title is 24, while the subtitle is 14. And this creates a visual balance, looking at different elements at different time intervals. So you could see the create account before, you could see the sub title which says kindly complete the details below to create your account. Now, having done that, you could see also the colors. This I use a more prominent color, and this I used a color that is not prominent, right? Yeah, cool. So I'm going to turn on the grid line, and I'll set this to match here, snap to the grid line, and also make this to snap to the grid line as well. So let's turn off the grid line. Now, the next thing I want to work on the inputs, right? So I'm going to do away with all of this. Here we have the new inputs. So I'm going to set the margin to around 40, and I'm going to look at the grid to set it here. So you could see here I introduce labels, and the essence of introducing label is to make it more clear for the user to understand what they need to do at each point in the design. So let's check the spacing. I think I'm okay with the spacing. And also you could see I introduce border around the input, so users could easily understand that this is an input box. So it has the box shadow and it has the shadow. You could see the box shadow, and it has the shadow effect, the drop shadow effect. And you can see I've also renamed each of the placeholders. Now you could see here in the design that I removed the confirm password, and the reason for this is because I want to focus on more on strong password rather than getting the password correct. So that's why I removed the confirm password and just use only password. You see here I also added the I2, so you could easily just check what your password is before you hit on the register button. So like I said, now we have the password meter rather than having the confirm password. So this will tell you the strength of your password, and also you could see your password using the eye icon. The next thing I want to do is to increase the contrast of the text and the inputs against the background. So I'm going to change the background to white background. Cool, and we have more clarity and more better contrast with the elements in the registration form. The next thing I want to work on is the button, and what I need to do is to improve the contrast by making the white stand out. So I'm going to do that, and here we have the input box. This has better contrast compared to this. You could clearly see the create account. You could see I've also changed the copies from register to create account, which is an action that the user needs to take. And lastly, I'm just going to improve this text. So I'm going to bring this here, which matches with the current text type which I'm using, and you could see also I selected the right color. So here we go, we have a better UI compared to what we initially have. Let me know what you think about this, and that is it from me. See you in the next one. Bye.